Hey there, Angry Faithful. I just wanted to drop in, bend your ear a little bit, get your attention. So if you're not listening, drop what you're doing and pay attention to me, because I'm here to inform you that not only can you get your daily, maybe if you're binging it, I'm not sure, that's entirely up to you, but you can multiply your doses of angry me fuckery by paying attention to all of the platforms upon which you can find either the dulcet tones of my voice and David's voice, or my pretty face and David's not so pretty face. Anyways, digressing, we not only we are on YouTube, we are on Spotify, we're on Rumble, we're on Google, Apple Podcast. We have a TikTok page. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and of course Facebook. So if you find yourself fuckery deprived, curl up with a nice hot mug of shut the fuck up and just listen. Open those ear holes and be prepared to be cream pied like it's the first time. Thanks for listening.
Welcome, Angry Faithful. Today on Nerd Sports, we're going to talk about the interesting sport of handball. Developed in London 2012. Sorry about that, folks. But it's basically soccer, but you use your hands. I thought it was going to be like handball because I played handball. You know, you just have the big thick rubber ball and you toss it against the wall and everything, and you bounce it around. You use basically your hand as a racket,
right?
But it's not. It's kind of like
handball.
Dude, they're
also played on the mean streets of Manhattan, apparently.
Dude, those people that are in France, Denmark, and Norway are pulling six figures playing that sport. But is
it six figures in euros or six figures in US dollars?
It just says six figure salaries.
You know, because like six figure salaries in euros is probably like $1.50 US dollar.
Not in euros. Euros is like it's only like.
Well, I mean, think about the source.
Dollar.
I mean, think about the source. You know, you've got
there we go.
Europe. It's all inclusive beta males. I mean, with the exception of like maybe 10% of the soccer players.
Okay, the €1 is equal to 0.99 US dollar.
Okay.
So that's the exchange rate.
Okay. So they're getting over on us. Okay.
Yeah, for some reason, I think the United States is hitting this kind of inflation or recession that nobody wants to talk about or anything.
Wait, so forgiving all that student debt and printing money just at will doesn't hurt? No. Yeah. That means the Democrats lied to us.
You know what's really sad is, though, is I honestly thought about going and finding out our Democrat congressperson that's trying to get votes in our town and get him an interview. I thought it would be interesting.
Do we really want to dive back into politics again?
Honestly, I've been getting a lot of hits wanting me to do that. It would be bad for you only because the basic fact is I try to keep these shows for about an hour to an hour and a half. And if we dove into the politics and you get into the politics, we're looking at 5 to 6 hours.
Right, because I'm going to hold them to task and make them answer for things like redistribution of wealth, um, single payer medicine when it's been proven all over the world that it's an inefficient model.
Oh yeah.
I mean, for crying out loud, look at the VA. I mean, do I need to say anything else?
No, not really.
Okay, then. So, moving on. Baseball news. Um, 27 years ago today, Cal Ripken Jr. passed Lou Gehrig on the all-time consecutive games list by playing in his 2,131st consecutive game. He got to do it at home in Camden Yards when he was playing for the Orioles. I don't know. It was funny. Oh, I saw a funny clip. Yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was. Well, actually, it was last night. So I saw. Let me try to fix my mic here. Hold on. So I saw a funny clip on Twitter, or was it Reddit? I think it was Reddit. J.K. Simmons, right? Our beloved.
Okay.
That sounds a little bit. Yeah, that's still echoey. I'm trying to fix
No,
it.
no, no, no.
I gotta get it.
You gotta put the mic, the label towards you.
Yeah, I know. There. That's that's not helping. J.K. Simmons plays J. Jonah Jameson in all the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
It was funny. He was at the Angels game last night. He is a lifelong Detroit Tigers fan because he was born in Michigan, rooted for the Detroit Tigers his entire life. And the Tigers were in town playing the Angels. And he was just an optimistic Tigers fan at the game, and he was being interviewed. And they were asking about, what's it like to be able to see Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani play? And he's like, I mean, they're studs, Yeah. He was asked about Shohei Ohtani specifically, and he's just, he's like, he's been shutting the Tigers down. I mean, they really don't have an answer for him. And J.K. Simmons was the manager of the Detroit Tigers in a movie called For the Love of the Game, where Kevin Costner played a pitcher named Billy Chapel, and he throws a perfect game in this movie. And so the guys up in the booth were asking the reporter, ask him if he thinks that Billy Chapel would have anything, for Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. And he goes, oh yeah, Billy Chapel would shut those punks down. So, because he had such a superior manager. I was like, that's pretty cool. I mean, he's a man of the people. So, I was that made me smile. I mean, I like J.K. Simmons. I don't know. Hollywood needs a little bit more realism. And I think he's I don't know. He's just a likable guy. Aaron Judge from the Yankees. He's up to 54 home runs so far. He's projected to hit 65. That's what he's on pace for. Is he going to do it? I don't know. Don't really care. I think, again, like I said last week, I think it'd be hilarious.
Hey, keep talking. I gotta go grab something real quick. I'm gonna put you in
okay.
Speaker.
I think it would be hilarious for Mike Judge to break the Yankees single season record, knowing that he's going into free agency next year, and then the Yankees turn around and not be able to afford him. Albert Pujols, he's sitting at 695 home runs. He's one behind Alex Rodriguez for fourth all time at 696. I would love to see Albert Pujols overtake Alex Rodriguez and actually hit
700 home runs. I mean, he'll only be the third player in Major League history to do that. And he would be the third player. He would be the fourth player in Major League history to obtain 700 home runs, and he'd only be the third player to do it legitimately. And I say that because Alex Rodriguez is one of his nicknames is A-Royd because, well, he's been caught with a needle in his hip so many different times. But
We'll talk about what I just sent you later.
okay, so and this is why I think Albert Pujols is going to be almost a unanimous first round ballot or first ballot, selection to the Hall of Fame. He ranks fourth in Major League history with 122 pop flies or sacrifice flies. So where he hits a pop fly and somebody scores an RBI on it. He ranks sixth in Major League history with 11,350 at bats. The next person in front of him is Ty Cobb with 11,440. He also ranks 11th in Major League history with 1,901 total runs scored. That's the number of times that he has crossed the plate. The next person in line after him, or ahead of him rather, is Derek Jeter with 1,923. Pujols ranks 10th in Major League history with 941 multi-hit games. The next, the person in front of him is the great Tony Gwynn, arguably one of the best hitters in all of Major League history. He's in front of Pujols right now with 951 multi-hit career games. Let me see here. Now, Pujols has primarily played against left-handed pitching this year. Now, he's most likely able to add to his home run total. So the Monday, which would be today, or no, that was yesterday. I think.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. They played the Nationals. Now they're playing the Nationals again tonight. Wednesday, there's the next four games. Tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday. They're all facing right-handed pitching. Paulo Espinino, Corey Abbott, and Josiah Gray, all pitchers. They're right-handed pitchers for the Nationals. I say that we get Albert Pujols out there and just put the bat in his hand. At least at that point, he's racking up at bats. I mean, because if you're saving him for the quote unquote left-handed pitchers, managers of the opposing teams are going to work their way around that. If they don't want to get beat by Albert Pujols, they're not going to go to a left-hander. That's all there is to it. Just because the left-handed delivery, it's down and in on a right-handed pitch or right-handed hitter. So, and that's basically where Albert Pujols likes to golf shots out. So I say get him out there. At the very least, put him in a position where they have to pitch to him. I mean, because the law of averages is on his side at that point. The more at bats he gets, the more likely the scenario is going to come along where he's going to be, there's going to be people in front of him. He may run into a bases loaded situation where they won't have any place to put him unless they give him the Barry Bonds treatment, where they sacrifice. They'll eat a run and walk him with the bases loaded just to avoid from him hitting a home run on him. But I don't think
is there a name actually that I forget.
The Barry Bonds treatment? Yeah. And it was dubbed that way because whenever Barry Bonds was on his steroid-fueled rampage through the home run totals, he would come up to bat and teams would actually he would come up in a bases loaded situation, and as opposed to giving up a 4-run home run, a grand slam, they just walk him, and they would just walk in a run on purpose.
Okay.
To avoid, just to avoid, just to limit the damage, so to speak. I mean, they're like, oh, it's a sign of respect. I mean, and honestly,
It's not
I
really
would feel,
a sign of
I would feel,
respect.
I would feel disrespected as a hitter, because it's like, okay, you're taking the bat out of my hand, kind of a thing. So, I mean, anybody in a lineup from 1 through 9 has an opportunity or the potential to potentially hit one out on any given pitch. You're just focusing in on that one guy, and you're like, you've got him circled on the roster, on the lineup card. This guy is not going to be the one that beats us today. So I don't know. I say get him out there, put him in the starting lineup, get him out there, get him at bats, at least work those totals up. And right-handed pitchers make mistakes too. They'll try to hang a curve, they'll try to put a curveball down the pipe or paint a corner. And a pitcher could leave a breaking ball out over the middle, or he could hang a curveball. And Albert Pujols is a seasoned enough of a hitter, and his nickname is the Machine for a reason. So I say put him in the lineup, and I say get him out there. Don't save him for left-handed pitching, because you don't know when that situation's going to be there. I mean, they may pull a left-handed reliever in, and you pull a switch hit, put him in as a pinch hitter, but then you got to rearrange your defensive lineups. And so I say just get him out there, start him at first base, and let him play. And I don't know. That's just my take on it. And I mean, even if you're having him in there as like a designated hitter, because everybody's got the designated hitter this year, I say get him out there, put him in as your DH, and just let him swing. I mean, save the wear and tear on his body, keep him out of fielding the ball defensively, and just go on about your day. So I don't know. I think that it would be more advantageous for them to get him out there on a daily basis, face as many pitchers, and see as many pitches as he possibly can, because the season is winding down, and we want to try to get him to 700, or at the very least past Alex Rodriguez. Just for the sheer sake of, hey, look, I mean, you're already in the Hall of Fame, but it would be nice for you to be able to join the 700 club. That's all I'm trying to say. So let me see here. NFL news.
I got some for NFL news.
Go ahead.
The best of the NFL free agents still using. The list of free agents entering 2022 season is especially impressive, with several former Pro Ballers and all pro still available. Some of the best players will remain unsigned all season, while others will quickly get snatched up whenever an injury occurs. Wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., fresh off the Super Bowl win with the Rams, his free agent is completed. He's saved from a torn ACL in February Super Bowl, so he won't be ready to return to the field until at least mid-season. Team could sign him now and place him in IR with the intent to bring him back onto the field when he's healthy. Another one is another wide receiver, Will Fuller. He's been injured. The former Texans and Dolphins played just 55 of the possible 97 games in his career due to his various injuries.
Injuries.
God, I don't know why that word just stopped me. It is so fucked off. And what's a PED suspension?
Performance enhancing drug suspension.
Yeah, that makes sense. It doesn't say that. It doesn't. Okay, anytime they use a form of enhancement drug, I thought they were just fired. Now they're
Nope.
suspended now?
Nope. Was never the case, will never be the case. I mean, not unless it's just habitual. And then at that point, I mean, they could just put them on an indefinite suspension, but there's always avenues of recourse and appeal that's available to the players through the players union.
Well, we got defensive end after 12 seasons, JPP, Jason Perry Paul enters his 22 looking.
Jason Pierre-Paul, yeah, he played for the Buccaneers last year. He signed with the Buccaneers 2 years ago, and that was he came on as a late addition after Tampa Bay signed Tom Brady, and then of course everybody knows that they went out and won the Super Bowl that first year. But
Well, he has a 91.5 career sacks. That's a good percentage.
yeah, so it's he when he played for the Giants. He was that guy that went out and became the poster child for why you're not supposed to play with fireworks unsupervised. He blew off a couple of his fingers one year while he was playing for the New York Giants. It didn't affect him as far as like his ability to play because he was still an amazing defensive player.
Yeah.
He just couldn't play as himself and on Madden. Because you kind of need digits to work the controller, right?
I've seen people use like the Stephen Hawking type stuff to play video games, so he might be able to still do it. Yeah, I brought that up, and that's a horrible, horrible way. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Everybody has to take a drink now. Finally got after a couple of episodes, I finally got Johnny to do the. I can't believe he did that. Breath. It's awesome. I feel accomplished now. Defensive tight end. I am going to butcher this name. I can get a song.
Ndamukong Suh.
Ndamukong Suh.
There we go. You please. Yeah, I couldn't even do it. I was gonna have to do it again. The Kamo Con Sue.
Ndamukong Suh.
Adamic man.
Yes, and he also plays for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, he plays for the Buccaneers, 6 sacks in 17 games. Even at 35, the 5-time Pro Bowler could contribute to a counter this season if he finds the right role. We have another defensive tight end, Shelton Richardson. Richardson's 31. Switch teams almost every year in 2022 will likely be no different since 2016. He's played for the Jets, the Seahawks, the Vikings, the Browns. Last season, Richardson had a 2.5 sack. Oh, damn. And 39 combined sacks in 17 games. That's not looking good. I don't know why anybody would actually sign him unless they just needed an extra player.
I mean, it could be a number of things.
Yeah. Linebacker Dona Hightower.
Dante Hightower.
Donta Hightower. Let me have that one. It's not often that 3-time Super Bowl champ is in the market in September, but in this case with Hightower, he was clearly a step slower in 2020. Even so, Hightower remains one of the NFL's smartest player. It is unknown if he will play outside of New England, or if he will be content to retire after 9 seasons with the Patriots. Center back CB is center back, right? Or with
Cornerback.
cornerback. Like most players on this list, Hayden is a Savory veteran whose best days are long behind him, but that doesn't mean he can't contribute in 2020. Hayden 33 was a Pro Bowler in 2013, 14, and 19, allowing 32 catches and 49 targets in 12 games last season.
Uh-huh. Yeah, honestly, I'm just ready for the season to start. College football was a little lackluster this weekend. And that's just usually because the first couple of weeks of the college football season, all of the big powerhouse teams, I mean, everybody plays basically a warm-up game against some unsuspecting powder puff squad.
Yeah.
And I'm just
There's a
like,
word for that, though. There's actually a word for that.
yeah, I forget what it is. I mean, it's basically just
it's like
a scrimmage.
Yeah.
So
Scrimmage. I think I couldn't tell you the life of me. It's kind of like buttering yourself up with a person that can't really fight back, and you're gonna win. Okay, longest yard. It was the longest yard. Basically, what it was the whole thing with that movie was the setup, the correctional officers to get a cheap win with the inmates, so they feel more confident going into the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's a scrimmage.
To work on the other team, the actual teams they're going to have to go up against for a championship. Basically, the other farms or units, whatever you want to say on those. But sorry, folks. The problem with that is you don't know if it's going to be an underdog story. And
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There were some of these teams that really made these ranked teams sweat this weekend. And it was kind of entertaining to watch, but for the most part, I was just kind of like, whatever. Like I said, the NFL kickoff weekend is this coming weekend.
Yeah.
Not really a whole lot that I want to go over as far as football is concerned. NASCAR was interesting this weekend. Christopher Bell, who drives for Richard Petty Motorsports. No, not Christopher Bell. Was it Eric Jones? No, it was Christopher Bell. No, Eric Jones. That's right. All right. So Eric Jones, he drives the number 43 car. Now, he drives it for Richard Petty Motorsports or Richard Petty Racing. Anyway, so this was the first race of the playoffs, and he pulled off an improbable victory. Now, what was kind of funny and historic about this win that he pulled off was the last time the win this past Sunday came exactly 50 years to the day since the 43 car last went to victory lane at Darlington. And it was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was the first win for Richard Petty Motorsports since John Andretti back in the early 2000s, maybe even the 90s. So it's been a while. I mean, and I'm happy for him. I mean, the kid, he's been in the sport forever. It seems like, but it's nice to see, somebody besides the normal powerhouse teams getting a victory. The next race is going to be at Uh, I believe the next race. Yeah, the next race is at Kansas Speedway. It's race number 2 of the round of 16. So at this point, Eric Jones is advanced. Actually, no, wait, hold on. Let me look at the standings real quick because I didn't think he made the playoffs. No, Eric Jones didn't make the playoffs, but it's kind of funny because like seeing a non-playoff driver score a victory was kind of satisfying. I mean the point standings for the people that are still eligible, it really, no, it's not round 16. I'm sorry. I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking. The round of 12, so I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it's around 16 still. Jesus, I'm just all over the place today.
Well, you just got off the road for about 6 hours, so
yeah. We've got it. See, Chase Elliott was the points leader going into the playoffs. Now he's sitting ninth. So I mean, it really just kind of puts that emphasis, which is what they had intended. It puts emphasis on winning races. So I mean, it's. I'm going to try as diligently as I can to watch as many races as I can during the course of the playoffs, just because I want to see how it plays out. Because there is going to be some drama, let me tell you. But it's and this past week on Wednesday night, Dale Earnhardt Jr. got back in a car. He drove a late model stock car at North Wilkesboro Speedway. This speedway hadn't seen actual racing since the early 90s.
is that the one they're trying to revamp?
Oh, it's back and in a big, big, big way. And it started out as kind of like Dale Jr. kind of putting the track owners in a corner. He was on his way with the track owner to Las Vegas because he needed a broadcast, be in the broadcast booth for a race. Okay. And they flew over North Wilkesboro. And he was like, oh, so he texted the owner of iRacing, which is the online race simulator, and said, hey, I want to scan North Wilkesboro into the game, because he wanted to, at the very least, if they can't restore the track, he wanted to preserve it for posterity, at least in digital form.
He was supposed to do
that. And the guy was like, look, hey man, or no, he was on the plane. Yeah, he was on the plane with the owner of iRacing going to Las Vegas, and he texted the owner of North Wilkesboro, said, hey, I want to do this. I want to scan the track. And he goes, look, man, if you want to go out there and weed eat that thing and clean it off, go right on ahead and scan it. And so he gets a hold of the iRacing. He tells his buddy, he's like, who the owner of iRacing, he's like, hey, he told me if we go out there and clean it up, we can do whatever we want. And it would, I mean, so Dale Jr. tweeted this out, and the response was so deafening.
Yeah, we did a story on one of the episodes.
So they went out there, and it was raining, it was cold, and it was wet, and they were out there with weed eaters and blow torches and shovels, and just they cleaned the track up and they scanned the whole thing in for the game. And and so people were like, hey, this track is still here. So they've been working like for the last couple of years to try to get this whole thing together. August 31st was the late model stock race that Dale Jr. ran in. Okay. And the way that they brought the track back during the month of August, there was racing every night of the week for a solid month, right? The night that the night that they ran that super or that late model stock car race, there was 20,000 people in the stands. 20,000 people in attendance to watch that race. Yeah. I mean, people have been wanting this track to come back for years because, I mean, it was a staple and it was one of the more unique tracks on the circuit. So when you come out of turns 3 and 4, no, when you come out of turns 1 and 2, right? And you're going up the back straightaway, you're actually driving uphill. And so, and then when you come out of turns 3 and 4, heading in down the front straightaway towards turn 1, you're actually driving downhill. So you're flying down the front straightaway. And there, because of that elevation change, it was a really challenging track for drivers to drive whenever it was actually part of the Winston Cup schedule on the regular basis. So now they're what they're going to do, I think in October, or September, I think. I can't remember what. There's an itinerary for it. But after they're done doing all the asphalt racing, they're going to go and tear the track or tear all the asphalt out, and they're going to make it a dirt track for like a month or two. And all of the money from ticket sales, all of the streaming partners, the pay-per-views and stuff like that are all going 100% towards this restoration project. They're going to repave. They're going to repave North Wilkesboro and they're going to modernize it because they're trying to bring NASCAR back to that track, whether it's through the Cars Tour or if it's through the ARCA series or the Craftsman Truck series or the Xfinity series. And ultimately, it would be really great to see the NASCAR Cup guys go back to North Wilkesboro because it's
a good revenue for the town that actually.
Oh, it's absolutely yeah. And I was listening to Dale Jr.'s Download, his podcast today on the way back to Lake Jackson. So they recorded his live Q&A that he did before the race last Wednesday, and he pulled some drivers up because everybody knows my story. But I want you guys to see and hear from some of these drivers that drive this series and they do it for a living. They talked to one guy. He grew up his entire life about 600 yards from turn 3 at that track.
Damn.
And so, I mean, he grew up in the shadow of this track. His family was involved with the history of this track. His granddad was one of the builders. His his great uncle was one of the designers of the track. And it just the family history is just kind of I mean, there was one guy, I think his name is Spencer Parson or Spencer Parsons. Yeah. Stephen Parsons. He's related to Phil Parsons, Benny Parsons. I mean, and as it relates to NASCAR history, that's damn near royalty. They used to run at that track all the time in Cup cars back in the day when it was Winston Cup. And so it's really cool that to see this track being brought back to life, to kind of like a grassroots movement to really bring NASCAR back to earth, so to speak. I mean, yeah, we know that the cars are going to get faster, the cars are going to become safer, and with speed comes danger, so they're going to have to dial one back to make the other one work better. And I'm not talking about safety. I'm talking about dialing the speeds down just a little bit to make the cars a little bit safer, instituting new safety measures. Engineering is constantly becoming more and more of a science every day.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about, The NASCAR circuit now, the top three series, you've got the trucks, the Xfinity cars, and the Cup cars. They tour the entire country. And it used to be a real regional sport. It used to be a Southeastern kind of a thing. The Carolinas, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, that kind of thing. And they would occasionally go out to Riverside Speedway out in California and do a road race. But it would just kind of be nice for NASCAR to include some of these original tracks in their schedules and just kind of give these local economies just a huge infusion of cash once a year, something along those lines.
You know what I thought just now?
What's that?
Well, this is your job right now to do. Get Dale Earnhardt on so we can actually talk about the Restoration Project and everything. Here's the thing.
Oh.
Here's the deal.
Okay.
You are only allowed to ask him one question because you will act like a little schoolgirl when he's on.
No, I wouldn't.
Uh-huh.
And it's because, would it be cool to get Dale Jr. on this show? Absolutely. But would it realistically happen? I'm being a realist, and I'm going to say probably not going to happen. But I'll tell you what. Let me finish.
Okay.
Okay. I will do my due diligence, and I will try to figure out whom it is that I've got to contact at Dirty Mo Media or JR Motors or Junior Motorsports to try to make that happen, because this dude, okay, so in addition to the Dale Jr. download, they've got all these other different podcasts. They've got Door Bumper Clear. They've got there's like 5 or 6 different podcasts alone that I can think of. Some are more obscure than others, but then you've got your Dale Jr. download and you've got your Door Bumper Clear. But if I can't get Dale Jr., I'm going to see what I can do to at the very least see if we can get Mike Davis on. Mike Davis is his co-host, one of Dale Jr.'s best friends. I love listening to their back and forth. I really do. I'll see, man. I'll try. I'm not going to make any guarantees, but I will promise that I will try. I'm not going to give any updates because I don't want to get people's hopes up. But I tell you what, if I were to actually land Dale Earnhardt Jr., my sister Serena would certifiably and absolutely shit a brick. Okay, so to kind of put it into perspective here, okay, my sister Serena, she was one of those fangirls that actually had a T-shirt that said "Future Mrs. Dale Earnhardt Jr." And when she found out that he was engaged,
was she crying?
Oh, she was like, "I don't like her," and I'm just like, okay.
The way
because I was like, do you really think that you would have stood a chance with him to begin with? And she's like, well, no, that's not the point.
Oh no, that's definitely the point. That's the point we're fucking.
It's got nothing to do with the point.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I do believe that's the whole point, ma'am. But anyways, this is how I want you to treat it. Okay, I want you to treat it like you're the slutty little girl that wants that fucking dick, and you're getting that dick. No matter what you have to do, you get.
Well, I personally think that dicks are unattractive. I don't even like looking at my own. I don't even like looking at my own when I'm taking a piss.
You prepare for the thing. Watch a couple of gay pornos or some shit like that, but go after that goddamn fucking dick. We're way past the 30-second time frame, so I can say.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, give me just a few moments. I'm going to try to get a hold of Colin.
And that's moment
That is me telling you, okay, it's enough. It's time to give it up here.
But no, it's one of those things you just got to try, man.
Hey, Spud, what's going on, dude?
Hi.
Oh, you don't sound like you feel good now. Are you getting congested? You're fine? Okay. Okay. Oh, you're eating spicy ramen, so your nose is running. I got you. Okay. You got your joke all queued up, man? All right, hold on just a second. Let me play your intro here. I need like, and this is another reason
You
why
need
I
to
need to
record it, then put it on the thing.
Let me finish. Cocooning your tatas, de-stress your breasts, calm your tits, Dave. Okay. I was saying I need a better soundboard so that way I can program more sounds into it, kind of like your fancy little washboard there. All right, but anyway, I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, angry faithful of all ages, it's that time once again for my genetic code to saturate your eyes and your ear holes. It's joke time with Colin. Go for it, bud.
Slice of bread.
What?
Hey, back up from the phone and say that again.
What did the toaster say to the slice of bread?
What?
I want you inside me. You told that one this weekend, didn't you? I think you did. I think you did. No? Okay. All right. Yeah, I was wrong. Now I feel like dad of the year because I feel like now I just put on display for the entire world that I wasn't paying that much attention. Yeah. Which is not true. You knew I was paying attention to you, right? There you go. Shake your head up and down in that north-south seeking direction. All right, bud. Well, I will call y'all here in just a little while, okay? All right. Smile. Not that anybody can see you because we need to get you on Zoom so we can do the, bring you in. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say. All right, bud. I love you. Talk to you later, buddy. Later.
Oh, you know what?
Ladies and gentlemen, that is my genetic code on display once again for your eyes to feast and for your ear holes to be saturated. This was your weekly installment of Joke Time with Colin, brought to you by whatever testicle he swam out of. You're welcome.
You know what I just realized this week? I was staring at the wall, and I realized that spam callers are probably the unsung heroes now.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, think about this. Most bombers, they use cell phones to detonate the bombs and everything. So those terrorists are like one phone call away from, a limited extended warranty call, and boom, there goes the terrorist cell. Could you imagine that?
Yeah, but they're not calling numbers in Afghanistan or Iraq.
You never know.
Oh my God! Stop barking. You gotta love a dog. I love my dog, but there are days I just want to punch him in the nose. That's animal cruelty. We need to cancel that show. You know what? I need you to pucker up and just plant one right there on my right cheek.
All right, everybody. My name is David Dickerman.
And I am Johnny Skelton, the man, the myth, the lesson, the lesson.
You even messed it up.
I did.
I did.
Oh,
The
that's
lesson.
awesome.
See, the lesson that we just learned. Enunciate.
Oh, yeah.
Victory!
Thank you, everybody, for watching.